Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam sejahtera, salam kebajikan untuk kita semua. Good morning, good evening, and warm greetings to everyone joining us from Indonesia, the United States, and other parts of the world. Our respected guest, Professor Oksana Sefranova, our distinguished speaker from Yale University, Dr. Dina Herlina Suwarto, our moderator representing Kafein Indonesia, Ibu Diah Ayu Wiwit Sintowoko, our event chair from Telkom University. We are truly grateful for your presence and participation in this event. My name is Nur Sabaria, and I am honored to be your host for today's international webinar titled New Wave of Cinema, Air as Medium in Experimental Film, Experimental Cinema in the Age of AI Ethics, Aesthetics, and Cultural Resistance. This event is Community Service Grant from Telkom University and Yale University in collaboration with Kafein Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and best regard to everyone. Respected Professor Oksana Sefranova from Yale University, respected Dr. Dina Herlina, Chairperson of Kafein, the Associations of Indonesian Film Scholars, and respected guests, scholars, filmmakers, students, and all participants who engage with us both online and in person. As chair of the organization's committee, I wish to convey my profound gratitude to those who have contributed to this event. The event today is part of an international collaborative endeavor launched by Telkom University and Yale University in partnership with Kafein. This activity engages with Indonesians and global experimental film practice, wherein experimental film, characterized by its flexibility and audacity, encourage us to perceive film not merely as a medium, but as an art form.
Now, let me share a brief overview for our upcoming event, Experimental Film Essay Competition, organized by Telkom University and Kafein Indonesia. You can see on the screen, the competition invites students and the public. You can see the detailed guide on the screen, and we will send it via chat box too. Moving on, we will now begin the main session, the International Talk Series with title Air as Medium in Experimental Film, Experimental Cinema in the Age of AI Aesthetics, Ethics, and Cultural Resistance. It is my great pleasure to introduce our moderator for today's discussion, Dr. Dina Herlina Suwarto.
Selamat pagi, Mbak.
Okay, Dr. Dina Herlina Suwarto is a lecturer in Communication Studies at Yogyakarta State University and an alumni of the University of Nottingham, England. She has been deeply involved in various film-related activities, from academics, script writing, and policy research, to being a jury and curator in national film events such as the Indonesian Film Festival of FFI.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Oksana. Thank you very much for your time to give us some lecture this morning. And I would like to appreciate my colleagues, Mbak Diah Ayu, who also Kafein member, that organized this event with her team. And this event is not solely a discussion, but also followed by essay writing competition especially for the students. So I hope everyone who joined this discussion get some insights and inspiration from Professor Oksana presentation, and also maybe you can explore more of one of or two your ideas related to the upcoming writings for the experimental essay. Wow, we don't have any doubt that you are a master in experimental film, not only in theory but also in practice, I guess. So without ado, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly happy, very happy and very honored to be invited and to present to your beautiful university virtually. Hopefully one day I can visit in person. So my a little bit title, a little bit different, but it's about what we're going to talk. It's genealogy of air, representation and the fear of the non-human world represented by air in the film by British artist Daniel and Clara, the film called En plein air. And first I want to tell a little bit what is experimental cinema, I don't know how you're familiar with that, and just to chart several important ideas, how we can distinguish and how we can actually understand that we're dealing with experimental cinema. These are just images of brief examples of very famous experimental films. So if we talk about experimental cinema, first of all, we talk about cinema that in opposition to commercial cinema, opposition to mainstream production, to genre cinema, to big studio production. But we will see now the film, which actually is about air. This is a single channel video. It was commissioned by Slow Film Festival. It's called En plein air, which name of old technique in painting in 19th century, when painters, French painters, British painters decided to take their canvases into nature and paint directly, subjecting themselves to weather, to climate, to air, and paint what they can see. This film was interesting because when it was commissioned, it was filmed in one weekend in October 2020, in the middle of COVID pandemic, when people cannot go much outside, when we had this fear, literally fear in the air, that air is something that transmitting the virus, and can make you sick. So you will feel, when you watch, feel this anxiety in the film. It was filmed in the Sussex village of Mayfield, and it was shot on a Blackmagic camera with special lens that Daniel and Clara bought from Laboratory Lens Baby, and this lens called Velvet. And this lens produced special effect in image. You will see, you see it here in this photograph, that image is blurred. So the effect that you see it's not bad quality of image. It's an effect that Daniel and Clara wanted to make, as if you experience it wet air, as if wet air directly pressing on your eyes and through the eyes of the camera. So now we are going to watch the film. So the film represents us a lot of ideas about air, and represent pretty, and I cannot say typical, but a very representative film, experimental film of contemporary time. And to talk about this film in terms of air, I chat several thesis on a reality of the film that Daniele Clara trying to put forward, but the thesis is wrote by myself. And the first thesis that air is tantamount to weather, because air exists in many meteorological configurations. It is fog, it is cloud, it is wind. And it invites us to think about, can we talk about image, film image, cinema in terms of meteorology? What does it mean to talk about meteorology of the image? And I think that I think about meteorological in relation to that film in two meanings: is an approach to filmmaking that the artists take, and our approach to interpreting these images. Approach in filmmaking is Daniele Clara foreground what is usually on periphery of any film, because when we watch film we don't even think about air, like we don't think about air in our life, but they make this secondary element of cinema, and air is most secondary because it's invisible, imperceptible almost. They made it a primary concern in this film.
Thank you, Professor Oksana, for delighted presentation and such a inspirational, I think, also as someone who never learned about experimental film seriously. This is quite something new for me, and I find myself surprised because I never thought that we can record air, because the material is immaterial, intangible. We can,
invisible. It's nowhere.
Yes, it is invisible.
But it is everywhere. It is everywhere. It's medium of our life. We're breathing. We cannot be without air. But at the same time, it's here and not here. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And sometimes when I ask my student to make a video or something, everything came up in my mind is something that tangible, something that visually able to capture. But so your presentation is quite surprising for me. I would like to ask a question. Do you think air could be a medium to influence audience for some perception? So do you think air can evoke a kind of perception for the audience?
Yes, of course. And it's interesting, even like we use the word medium in relation to air. It's very interesting because we have in media studies, we have different conception. We have ideas like Marshall McLuhan that medium is prosthesis. It's something attached to our body in order to amplify our body and make it kind of better.
Thank you very much. Thank you
so much. Thank you so much for inviting me, for listening, for asking amazing questions. Yes, and I hope students will write about experimental films and make experimental films themselves. And we will have more and more wonderful experimental films to watch and to think about.
Yes, I believe so.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for the audience also for your challenging question.
The audience, one of the most amazing audience.
The creative question, and also your very excitement for this event.
Thank you very much for the insightful and inspiring discussion this morning. Now we would like to present a certificate of appreciation to both our speaker and moderator. As a token of gratitude, we also invited Ibu Ayu to present certificate virtually. Okay, here's Professor Oksana's certificate as speaker, for Dr. Dina Herlina Budina as moderator. Thank you for your participation and have a great day or good night wherever you are in the world. See you in our next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.